Hey everyone, welcome back to Keeping Up with the Chaldeans. I'm Anthony Toma, your host, and the empty chair again with Mr. Junior Binno, missing out on the show again. It's actually, we shot a bunch of these things in the same day, so it's not like he missed 3 weeks in a row. He just missed a single day. He had a family vacation, hanging out with his cousins, partying down in South Beach. They get together all the time. They're probably one of the closest families that I've ever seen or known. So God bless them all. Love you guys all. So I'm here with Michael Esshaki, one of my closest, dearest friends, one of my longest running friends. He's the CEO and founder of ZipSauce, and he's going to tell us a little bit about how it got started, where it's going, where you can find it, and why it's the baddest tasting steak sauce in the world. What's up, Michael?
How are you, Anthony?
You're doing wonderful.
We miss you, JB.
Yeah, miss you, JB.
Also a good long time friend. JB's been around for a long time.
Oh yeah.
But would you like to?
Yeah, let's talk about ZipSauce. How did it get started? Where it got started? So let's start there, or maybe a little bit about your background and how you got into the even entertaining the idea of launching a ZipSauce, bottled ZipSauce.
So I started a restaurant, bought a restaurant. I was like back a long time ago. I was in the valet parking business for a long time, and we met all the Italian restaurants. You were around at that time too.
Oh yeah.
And we were doing all like Larco's, Lolli's, Andiamo's, Mario's, all the Picanos, every Italian restaurant out there that was carrying ZipSauce or used ZipSauce, and we ended up buying one of the Larco's restaurants out in 14 Mile behind the Pizza Hut there years ago, and I think it was 1990 maybe.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
And that's where we learned how to make ZipSauce from a brown liquid that everybody used to create ZipSauce. That was back in 1939 when Lolli's actually started using it. And
so they use that brown liquid as a base, and then
everybody makes it different.
Makes it a little different. Yeah.
Some guys use a roux, butter and flour. Some people use just regular butter. Some people use cornstarch. You can there's 50 different ways you can make it. It's actually a vegan product also. So it became famous on steak, and they kind of put it on the map, and then I was lucky enough to learn how to make it, and then we ended up buying the company that made the brown liquid.
Well, so you didn't only learn how to make it, you learned how to perfect it. You perfected it, and you brought a consistency to the ZipSauce. So when somebody orders ZipSauce in a restaurant, they don't know if they're getting like the ZipSauce that they're wanting to taste. There's a bunch of different ZipSauces. People use the name ZipSauce, and you kind of defend your brand against bad actors.
Yes, we trademarked the name. It was been trademarked since 2006. So we sent a lot of cease and desist letters out because people just put ZipSauce on the menu and they're not actually using ZipSauce.
Right.
And if they don't use the brown liquid that we provide, then they actually don't have a right to put ZipSauce on the menu, except for some restaurants that were way before we trademarked the name. So any newer places aren't really allowed to do that unless they buy the brown liquid from us. But everybody definitely makes it a little bit different.
Yeah.
I like to think that we do a special version of it, and when we finally this part, so you couldn't put butter in a bottle, obviously. So adding the butter is what made the difference on how you could put it in the bottle and why we put it in the bottle for retail sale. But when we originally got it and started to do it, we did a bunch of test runs with trying to use flavored butter or different 20 different ways that we did it, and then we had to see how long it would last in the bottle because we wanted to get a 2-year shelf life. And then it took us about 3 years, and we ended up perfecting the recipe and getting it to where you could just add butter at home and be done with it. So it's really simple now. We've simplified it.
Right. So you took the brown liquid, you did your thing to it, you added the different ingredients, and then the butter goes in. So you've perfected everything up until the part and bottled everything up until the part until the butter needs to be added. And why don't you talk a little bit about taking it from the bottle to the pan to adding the butter and then to the table?
So my favorite way to do it is just plain simple, right out of the bottle. Melt the butter. You don't want to boil the butter.
What goes first?
So you'll melt butter first, and then you'll put the ZipSauce in there, and you'll heat it up for maybe 10 seconds and mix it up, and then you'll put it over the steak that was already
10 seconds,
cooked.
that's it.
Yeah.
So the butter gets melted, low heat.
Low heat. Yeah.
And then you add how much ZipSauce to butter?
So
like,
it's a quarter stick of butter is a quarter bottle of ZipSauce. So if you use a whole bottle, it's a stick of butter.
Oh wow.
So
that's great.
So it's very simple, easy.
And then you'll always have that consistent taste.
You'll always have the consistent taste.
Nice,
It'll be the
perfect.
same every time.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. My favorite way to do it actually now, this newest way is I just did like a turkey gravy for Thanksgiving, and I actually added heavy whipping cream, half ZipSauce, and then butter and flour to thicken it up.
Wow.
And I'll put that recipe on my Instagram here soon, so everybody can use it.
Yeah. So they can follow you on social media. The Instagram handle is what? At ZipSauce.
Instagram. ZipSauce Instagram.
At ZipSauce.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got and then ZipSauce on Facebook. We also have TikTok now is also ZipSauce. They're all ZipSauce.
Okay. Just straight flat ZipSauce.
Yep, ZipSauce.
No, that's beautiful. And then it's ZipSauce.com if they want to buy some if you're out of state. Well, actually, out of state of a state that carries it because it is a national brand now.
It is.
Talk about how that growth went. And
so we've been lucky enough to get into Kroger and Meyer kind of put us on the map. They put us in 225 stores across 5 states. And then now Kroger over the past year and a half has went from 50 stores to 400 stores. We're in 4,200 stores nationally, about 15 states. We're really prominent: Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, and Texas. It's A1 and then ZipSauce in that category. We beat out every other brand except for A1, which is a different kind of sauce, but obviously they have the strength and power behind them. They've been there for years, and they're.
And I think by you protecting your brand, you kind of slowed the growth down a little bit, and I don't mean that in a negative sense. I mean it in a very positive one, because your thinking behind it, your mentality is that you don't just put it on a shelf and let it sit. You have to kind of do a demo on site.
Absolutely.
Make sure people taste it, and then it's very expensive to do, but your feeling is once they taste it one time, they're hooked.
Yeah, if I get you to taste it, you're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
So we started a little beta in Princeton, New Jersey, a store called McCaffrey's Markets, and we went there for a month, and we did a bunch of demos there. And if you try it, you buy it was my slogan there, right?
Yeah.
So we went there and we did it for about a month and a half, every weekend, and they're still a phenomenal customer. 5 stores. I just wanted to see how it would work, because some of these other companies have been out there for years and years, and they get killed by big companies like Costco. I had a sale to Costco for 48 pallets. We did the deal. We're ready to send it to them. They came up with a price that was going to be way cheaper than my retailers were going to sell for, like Nino's or Papa Joe's or Westbourne or the higher end markets, Rudy's Market.
Yeah.
We would always have it in those stores, and then Costco was going to sell it for a really low price, and it was only in the 10 stores that were around us. Mm-hmm. So they were going to do a lot of damage to my retailers. So I pulled back the sale. We didn't go into Costco.
That goes back to the integrity of the brand. It
goes back to the integrity of the brand. You don't want to. I'm not on Amazon. We sell it on our website only, because we want people to go to my
Go to ZipSauce.com to get it. And go ahead, finish your story. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. It's all right. So, there's no question about it that if you people ask me, why don't you go in, big distributors like KUWTC and put it in 5,000 stores? Because if you put it in a store and it doesn't sell, then you'll never be in that store again. So,
Right.
So we just kind of like brick by brick have been building it in the foundation, and luckily enough, we've been fortunate to get it to where it is.
Yeah, and it's geographically, you've been very strategic in where you place it, how you get the traction by doing the demos and all that stuff. And I commend you on your plan, your vision, because I probably would have made the big oops when trying to with the Costco deal. I probably would have fumbled that one and probably done it just by jumping on
we
it.
We all do big oops here and there,
no
right?
doubt. But so you protect the brand because you are or were a chef by trade back in the day, and so you know how to cook with it, you know how to deal with it, you know how to make many different dishes with it. A lot of people may think ZipSauce is just for steak, but so why don't you talk about all the other dishes and maybe where people can find the demos or the videos of you making the recipes, or where they can find the recipes.
Yeah, so we're coming out with a book here real soon with 100 recipes.
Wow.
The simplest ones are,
and this is all using
ZipSauce recipes.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice.
So it's going to be a really nice book that we're going to send out.
Like the Mabasima cookbook.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be that good because that was like 50 different people. There's only one of me, right?
Oh, gotcha. Yep.
So my mom has a couple recipes in there, one for my sister and one for her.
God bless them.
So simple stuff. Let's just do one simple recipe. Take any fry vegetables that you're going to put in a pan, stir fry them up in olive oil or whatever you're going to put garlic, black pepper, whatever seasoning you like. And the very end, you'll just take ZipSauce straight out of the bottle. No butter or anything. You'd pour it just little by little and keep tasting it till it gets to the point of salt content that you'd want in your meal, and you're done. Stir fry's done, and it's amazing.
So ZipSauce can be used as a salt substitute as well, not just a steak sauce.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's how everybody asks me, well, what does it taste like and how do you describe it? It's seasoning in a bottle.
Yeah.
It's all the seasonings that you need in your recipe in a bottle. We make you can pour one whole bottle and 3 bottles of water and 2 large onions, chop them up, put them down, boil it down for about 15 minutes, and you have the French onion soup base, right? And you'll put that in a bowl, put a piece of bread in it, put cheese over it. There's your French onion soup.
Unbelievable.
So there's a bunch of little, simple recipes that you can do that are different. Or burgers on a grill, put it in a spray bottle and put your burgers on a grill and just spray it as you're cooking the burgers, and that's all the seasoning.
No water added.
No water added.
No shit.
No.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting, pretty simple, pretty easy.
And so when we take a burger, we pat it and we kind of season it. You just pat the burger?
Just don't use no salt.
Oh, no salt.
So
but pepper it up.
Put pepper, garlic, whatever you like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, exactly. Put some
cool.
parsley in it, or even kebab or whatever you want to do. You can. It's very versatile, very simple. Mm-hmm. You're getting a lot of vegans and a lot of people that don't have gluten, the gluten-free menu stuff. It's gluten-free. It's also a vegan substitute. It's, there's no MSG. There's no sugar, so it's low carb.
Wow.
You can use it in any paleo diet or
so locally
keto.
Kroger,
Meijer, Nino's, Westbourne, Papa Joe's, Vincent Joe's, all Randazzo's, every Italian market that's out there, and then a lot of the little smaller chains have it. But I mean, it's hard to go into a store in Michigan now and not see it. Yeah, it's in most of the little corner store markets.
And it's in the steak sauce section, right?
Yeah, it's in the it's like in Meijer, it's
Or on
the third or fourth shelf.
Sometimes a lot of times you see it on the counters.
Yeah. A lot of the stores are putting it on the counter. We've been lucky with that. Plum Market also has it on the counter.
Yeah.
So it's gotten its traction.
You saved the best for last in Plum. What about Shania's place, Johnny?
Oh yeah, Value Center Market has it.
Value Center and
they have another one, Johnny Pomodoro's on 14 Mile.
I always forget the Pomodoros.
Yeah, 14 Mile and Middle Belt there on the corner. They have a really cool little store.
It's not little.
Yeah,
it's a giant store.
It's a good size store.
Yeah, it's for all your shopping needs.
They have excellent food there. Yeah. Listen, also Village Market, Fresh Farms Market, Market Square, Market Fresh. They've all really been really good to me. All Chaldean owned businesses, and they've supported me from the beginning. Johnny Carmel supported me from day one. Terry Farida supported me from day one in his stores. And the community's been really, really good to us. Superland Market in Detroit and Mini Market Foods in Detroit have really done a great job. I mean, they're ordering 50 cases at a time.
Superland?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's so Detroit, it's really in the urban areas, it's just started to get some traction, and a lot of the Spanish areas is starting to get traction.
Very nice.
But it takes time. It's people think it's overnight, and it's it's years and years and years of pounding the pavement.
It's been years.
Yeah, it's been years.
A lot of years.
I started out the funny thing is, we were at Rudy's Market in Clarkston, me, my brother, and Chris Thomas. And Chris, we closed the store down recently, and Chris had found the igloo container that I originally started bottling ZipSauce with. So I was buying it in a 55-gallon drum, and then I was putting it in this igloo container, and then I would fill the bottle, take the labels, put them on one by one, put the shrink wrap on them, heat them up. Literally did the first 100,000 bottles out of Rudy's Market in Clarkston.
Wow.
And the igloo container, when they were tearing the store apart the other day, he had found it, and he's like, man, I said, yeah, I need that in the ZipSauce Hall of Fame. Yeah. So he brought it over, and I took it to my garage. So little Remy Jonah was helping me do it. Back then, we have a picture.
Oh, back then. Because you called him little. I mean, the guy's got 3 kids. he ain't little anymore.
He was 15 back then. It was fun. We had a good time. There's a lot of, there's been, hey, listen, like any other businesses, there were trials and tribulations where I was raising money, and I went to a lot of people, and most of them, were like, oh, we're sorry, this and that. And even my closest friends and relatives were like, it's tough business, and it takes time. It's not something you just put a label on and put it in the store. People tell you you have the best business. Yeah, it was a lot of work.
Well, so the fact that you didn't get the money back then means that you're 100% owner of.
I am 100% owner. Yeah.
That's something to be very proud of. That's awesome.
It's we had some chances. I mean, me and my brother are partners in a lot of stuff, but we're we always share whatever we. I don't think either one of us knows who owes who what, but I probably owe him more than me.
Have I met your brother?
Right. So you met him a couple times.
Yeah, what's his name?
Robert Esshaki.
Robert Esshaki.
He's helped me a lot in this too. He always has great ideas. We're coming out with a new one here real soon. I don't know if you could see this, and the consistency's kind of thin. We have a new one. It's going to be a table-side ZipSauce. It's ready to serve, so it'll be thick. You'll be able to just pour it on your food. And he's encouraged me. My brother's actually encouraged me to start a chip company. So we're going to have a ZipSauce chips coming out also.
That's awesome.
We have some other brand extensions that we're going to add here real soon. So it's been.
What was that we had at your house? I think it was we were being the guinea pigs for it, but it was like a powder that you put on the fries or something.
Yeah, it's that's the seasoning that we're going to use for the chips.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so we are going to come out with a little powder it's a ZipSauce powder that you could put pretty much on anything, on fries or chips or fish or anything, and it's just in a powder form. It's easy to apply, and it has the same flavor profile.
Oh, when do you anticipate the book coming out?
Probably in the next 4 or 5 months.
Oh, shit.
We'll have it. Yeah.
Okay. So it's in the works for
All
real.
the recipes. There's probably 80 of the recipes are done. Mm-hmm. So we're messing around with a bunch
rattle
more.
Off a few of them if you don't mind.
So we have like.
I know I've had salmon with it.
Yeah, salmon. We do have a meatloaf. We have beef stroganoff. We have a lot of vegan dishes now that we're starting to do because that is getting popular. Mm-hmm. But steak, it's mostly meat products. Yeah, so we have a chicken wings, and we have regular chicken. We have
chicken too. Is unbelievable.
We have last night I made fish with it actually.
And the other night you made us.
We have those steak sandwiches.
Yeah, steak sandwiches.
You bought real thinly sliced New York strips and cooked them. Just added ZipSauce and some grilled onions.
Yep.
But yeah, they were awesome. Those are a fan favorite, family favorite now. You know,
phenomenal.
Everybody likes it. But there's a bunch of stuff going on, new stuff. I can't wait till the new one comes out. All my distributors are telling me it's going to cannibalize this product. I think it's a different customer. I think that's more for the masses where you can put it in like all the Coney Islands here in Michigan, just set it on the table.
Oh, yeah.
And just put it right on there and people could put it on their fries. But it's
absolutely. And there was a table side, or what are we calling it?
It's called Ready Zip.
Ready Zip. Okay.
Yeah. But it'll be actually the same label and same logo. The original's gone. It says Ready Zip here, and it's a red, white, and blue label. And it pops pretty good on the shelf, and it's literally less than a month away.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, 30 days we should have it. So sometime in January it should pop off on the shelves.
So it'll be next to the ZipSauce?
Yeah, it'll be right next to it.
Beautiful.
The stores and the distributors are kind of worried. They're like, well, it's going to be the same. And I just think it's a different market. You know, somebody that wants to use the high-end sauce that melts butter is going to be a different person that wants to just go and put it on their food immediately.
Absolutely. It's a different, totally different.
It's a different flavor.
Different flavor, different customer, different everything.
Yeah, same flavor profile, but completely different customer.
Yeah.
That's stuff that can go into more of the mainstream stores. HEB is going to carry it in Texas. So it's the same flavor profile. It's going to be a little bit. It's a different customer. I think the high-end customer is looking to use it on steak, and they're going to melt butter and then put it on there, and it's more of a different high-end flavor. Yeah. You know, the other one's going to have like the same soy connotations, but you're going to put it on there and it's going to actually stick to the fries.
Right.
So it's not going to run off on a lot of them. You know, red coat makes it a little thicker. And they actually make it, to me, the best out of like the restaurants. I like red coat. I like Joe Muir's, the way they do it. I like, Andiamo's does it really well, actually.
So how do they thicken it? Just with flour?
Roux, flour and butter.
What does roux mean?
Roux is like you'll take butter and melt it, and then you'll mix in a little bit of flour, and then you'll take that, and your ZipSauce is on the side, and you'll take that and slowly add it in there to get the thickness, consistency that you like.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's pretty cool.
I like it a little thicker. A lot of my friends do too. You know, a couple of them are the ones pushing me to come out with the one that's ready, so they don't have to add butter and they can just use it out of the bottle. We had a couple samples of it that I gave away last year. So that's another thing. When you have a product like this, you go through like a bunch of testing, and it's rigorous testing. So you want the product to last 2 years, because if it doesn't last 2 years, we make it in Franklin Park, Illinois, part of it, and then we have a plant here also that makes it. And then once you make it, it's in the warehouse for a month or two, and then, you know, till you distribute it to everybody, and then it goes into those Lipari Foods or Carmela Foods, and it's there for 2 or 3 months before they deplete their inventory. Then it's on the store shelf, and a lot of times stores forget to rotate it, or, you know, stuff like that. So if you have a year shelf life, you're really shooting yourself in the foot. You know, you really need to find a way to get your products to last 2 years. And, you know, I get probably 50 people a year come to me and like, hey, I got a product that I want to launch, and I help a lot of them get going. But it's a lot harder than people think to make the product last without fresh ingredients.
Right,
you know, like
right.
stuff that's dairies and
Yeah.
you know, I have a salad dressing and you know it goes bad in a week. You know, so you have to figure out.
You need, you got to figure out a way to keep the taste integrity, but
Get the shelf life.
get a preservative in there to do that.
For sure. So we have like a natural thickener, xanthan gum, which is like seaweed. That's going to be our thickener in the new product. It's not a synthetic thickener, so it'll be.
Who would have thought of seaweed? Like, who thinks of seaweed?
Well, it's a seaweed base that's a thickener that thickens the product. It's like a cornstarch, but it's a seaweed base.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's xanthan gum.
So they start off with seaweed and then they powderize it, or
they powderize it and it uses that as a thickener. So it doesn't have the seaweed flavor.
Right.
You know, but it has the thickening part of the agent of it.
Gotcha.
So it thickens it real nice and it's not like it's more like a maple syrup consistency.
And what's a bottle of ZipSauce cost on the site?
So on the site it's $7.99, and in the stores it's anywhere from $4.99 to $6.99. I never wanted to compete with the stores. If you want to buy it on the site, you're going to pay a little bit more. If you want to buy it anywhere online, you're going to pay more.
But so the difference is that you can't walk into a store if you're in, I don't know, Wisconsin or Timbuktu or somewhere.
You can't.
You can't. So you give them the opportunity to buy it online and to have it shipped there. Here they can go walk into a store. You don't want it. You'd rather have them go into the store, support the retailer, than buy it off the site.
I would. And if they do buy it off the site, if they're out of state, they can get a deal. They just got to buy a case.
Sure.
So if they buy 12 bottles, it comes out to, you know, $7 or
cheaper.
Yeah, much cheaper, including shipping and everything. It's free shipping on the site. It's $99 for a case of ZipSauce on the site. It includes shipping.
Oh,
so it's pretty
reasonable. And if you bought a case, how long would that last you?
It'll last you quite some time. I mean, it wouldn't last me that long because I use it on everything. But a normal person, it would probably last a year. Yeah. And it's a 2-year shelf life, so you have plenty of time with it.
For sure.
It actually, so
they make great gifts too.
They're good gifts.
I mean, you walked in and a guest that I had here, a visitor that I had here, or actually another business partner of mine, said, "Can you leave an extra couple bottles, please?"
Yep. It's become a very popular product. I'm really fortunate, and it's you know, a lot of people come at me and are really impressed, and I get crazy things like, "Oh my gosh, you're the ZipSauce guy. Can I get a picture?" or whatever. You know, it's become a household name in Michigan.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Not just in Michigan; it's all over.
Yeah, Michigan.
I mean, I wasn't just in San Diego, and that's actually, if you want to talk, you people are probably wondering what this shirt is. Off the bench. It's a new high-end sneaker store in San Diego by the Wine Bank, Paulie Carcho's place.
I know Paulie really well. Nice guy.
Walked in to this place. I was like, "Oh, this is cool," you know. And I'm looking at these guys back there. I was like, "Are you guys Chaldean?" They said, "Yeah, we are." And so the kid's name, he's not a kid, he's a grown-ass man, but he's the brains behind the operation. His name's Dylan Nager. So he started to help me. You know, one of his employees were helping me. Then when he found out I was Chaldean, he's like, "I'll help you." And so he helped me out. And then he's like, "My dad's back there." And, you know, I'm like, "Hey, what's going on? How you doing, sir?" His name's Danny Nager. And he... sweetest guy, man. He's just, you know, he's a good talker, and I didn't think he was Chaldean.
And he knew what it was out of the gate.
Of course, yeah. Everybody knows everything.
That's great.
Yep.
Yeah, we got some support there. There's a Harvest Ranch and some stores there that carry it.
Yeah.
In the mountains, Palm Springs area, there's about 10 or 15 stores that are called Jensen's Markets that have it, that do really well with it in California.
Yeah.
They're all just like in the, you know, snowbird areas, and just like in Naples, Florida, there's like 10 stores that have it that are,
because these are transplants, right?
They're transplants. Yeah,
the people just have to have it.
they go to the store and tell them, hey, listen, can you get ZipSauce? And then the store calls me and says, hey, we have, and that's a lot of like our little guerrilla marketing stuff. I'll get, 10 customers from a certain area in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I'll ask them what's a mom and pop store that they shop at. And then I'll call the store and I'll send them 5 cases for free.
Yeah.
And then tell all those online customers, go there and buy it. And so it kind of builds a little momentum.
Yeah. So when you said guerrilla marketing, I was like, no, it's grassroots because it's people that are, but you guys are taking the proactive approach and the guerrilla marketing approach, which is genius.
We attack the stores and say, here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Put it in the store, and the first one's on us. And so it's been
it's awesome. Well, I got to commend you on the distance that you've taken this thing. I can't wait to see the ZipSauce yacht down in Florida that says ZipSauce on the back.
It's coming one day.
The little 150 footer, whatever it is, you're going to purchase down there. Is there anything
150 is a little big, but
whatever, he can handle it.
We get a small
is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want to share with the viewers or anything else?
No, I just appreciate all the support. The Chaldeans and all walks of life have really supported my brand and my product, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for all your support and what you've done and the good conversations that you've had about it, and all the things that people have done to help me get where I am. You can never do it alone. And I'm a firm believer in supporting other people and trying to help people start their own business. And so I just want to, I'm very fortunate and very thankful for all the people that have helped me get where I am.
And it wouldn't be justice if we didn't mention Marguerite and Fayette.
And my mother and father were definitely my biggest supporters.
Yeah, for sure.
They were tough and as good as a parents as you could ever get.
Absolutely.
Coming here in the 50s and 60s and dealing with all this stuff, and their store, my dad's store, got burned down in '67.
Yeah. When
I was born.
Yeah.
So it's been they went through a lot in this country, and they did an amazing job at raising 4 children, and
it's the generation that put us Chaldeans on the map, man.
It put us on the map. They put us on the map.
They did.
Sure.
They definitely put us on the map.
No doubt. And we've gotten a lot of support from their friends in the past, and Marguerite and Fayette were 2 of the best there is for sure.
Yeah, no question. And all of our friends know it because your house was the house that we all hung out at.
Yeah, you did.
Because they were the most generous.
They were simple, easy.
Great.
You could
people.
do anything at our house as long as it was at our house, and you didn't go do it outside of our house.
Exactly.
Which we did that
anyway.
too.
That's beautiful. So we close out every show by asking the guest, what does it mean to you to be Chaldean?
The reason I love being Chaldean is because of the family structure. There are so many people that support each other in our community and that help each other, and that they don't even have to know you. They figure out they're Chaldean and they say, oh, you're Chaldean, really? And all of a sudden there's a stamp of approval that happens for you that changes the conversation almost immediately, and the support that we give each other, and how I've been received in a lot of the community, and people, I've had my troubles in my life, and people look past them and are like, oh, you did great anyway, and this happens and that happens and things happen, and the support the Chaldean community has given me has just been over the top, and being able to be a part of it and be a part of the Chaldean community and be able to keep pushing it forward and supporting the Chaldeans is very important to me and everyone that's around me. I'm a firm believer in that. I believe in there's power in numbers, and for us supporting each other and keep supporting each other, we can only get bigger and better.
Oh, man. Thanks for coming out and sharing your story, sharing the ZipSauce story.
Absolutely.
We touched on ZipSauce. You're a very dynamic person. Your business endeavors are massive. Your loyalty is everything. It's unmatched.
Thank you.
I want to tell you I love you, and
I love you too.
Thanks for coming out.
Absolutely.
All right,
Thank
brother.
you. And so we support Anthony and keeping up with the Chaldeans and
our
JB.
and our man
Support
JB.
you, JB. All right. In Miami, I hope you're having a good time and
Yep,
getting a suntan.
exactly.
All right.
All right, we're signing out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, please.
Thank you, ZipSauce.com.
Yes, sir.